802101. War was beginning. Time was television's mad from casted side, mad for serving humans and then not having future. They now come for all your base. Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and I welcome you all to my live Let's Play of Cathode Raybits, an 8-bit freeware game that's heavily inspired by the Mega Man Classic series. This will also be semi-blind, as I only completed the 6 main quote-unquote Roadmasters. So without further ado, let's begin. Here are 8 bots: Laser Raybot, Bomb Raybot, Beam Raybot, Fire Raybot, Sword Raybot, and Shield Raybot. I'll start off by going after Laser Raybot. Think of them as the 6 RMs of the game. So here's our main character, a soldier. We can jump and shoot, no sliding, but we have access to a charge shot. Just don't fire for a while and it'll automatically charge up. So it's called M Blaster, and we also have access to the P Balloon. Okay, the game decided to be a bit more generous and give me a life immediately. Make sure to get as many lives as possible. This game, especially compared with its successor, has a few areas where it's kind of jerkish. Thankfully, the P-Balloon does not despawn when you swap weapons. The character is definitely bigger than usual, and that also applies to his hitbox. There's a reason why his hitbox is so big, and that happens to be because this game is a demake of Cathode Raybots, which I'll eventually let's play on this channel too, or at least showcase. This soldier basically plays as Mega Man, but with a bigger hitbox and access to charge shots, weaker charge shots. The main gimmicks of this stage are the blocks and elevators. The soldiers' physics are a bit different from Mega Man Classics, so be careful. That was the first stage. Time to face off against Laser Raybot, who is also bigger than usual. They share the same hitbox as I do. He's basically the Toadman of the group, though slightly more damaging and dangerous. By defeating him, I get the Split Laser. Didn't mean to actually go through his stage again. You can actually go to the same stages in order to get some extra goodies, but thankfully you can exit out of the stages by just clicking on back, or going to menu I mean. There is a reason why I don't go after Sword last. He's the toughest of the group. Shield, thank you. Sword is easily the hardest stage in the game. I have his weakness, which is the Split Laser, but still, I want Shield Man's weapon first. Well, Shield Bot. Already this game is more decent compared to the previous one. This stage's main gimmicks are these conveyor belts, which makes it the second hardest stage in the main game. At least you can one-shot those enemies, otherwise that's a rather painful section. I wanted that E-tank. Oh well, mini-boss time. I can always go back for it later. Checkpoint. This definitely feels like it fits in a Mega Man universe, though perhaps a different Mega Man universe, perhaps an AU. Shield Raybot's weapon is really powerful. Sorry, I'll keep calling them Shield Man, Sword Man, etc. I played too much Mega Man Classic. This game was made way back in, I believe, 2014 or 2004. Could someone double check and see when this game was made? Music sounds fine to me, though the music always resets when I open and close the menu. (2014), got it. The sequel was made in 2016. You again, but with conveyor belts. Might as well try using the split laser. Frankly, the split laser is rather weak. The only use for it is for weakness affiliations and hitting enemies above and below you. No, this is Shield Man. I don't know what it has to do with shields. Shield Raybots, sorry. Basically Daibuman. Essentially the worst weapon of the game. Last checkpoint before the boss checkpoint. And the hardest part of the stage. These jumps. That's why I'm using the P-balloon and stuff for them. I can't tell you enough how many times I died in this last section alone and game over. Somehow I got this on my first attempt. Well, it will, Jaden, because we've backed it up already. You can already download the game and play the SWF file. So essentially weaker woodman. Roku-chan though, King plays several countermeasures so you can't easily download it sadly. Okay, Beam Raybot. I think I may have glitched the game slightly. Whoops. I paid too much attention to what was going on elsewhere. Yeah, I think what happened when I clicked menu, I accidentally removed my own laser weapon. Whoops. So I'll have to go to Laser Raybot stage again. I basically managed to exit the stage before it's saved. Basically what the orbital barrier does is protect you against one enemy hit, and if you take a hit from an enemy, it temporarily renders you invincible. Force beam time. Better than usual force beams, as these are proximity sensor triggered. Much better than the force beams in general Mega Man. Slow beams and are proximity triggered. A much more fair version of Rainbow Man, to be honest. Second force beam section. Compared to Quick Man, this feels like a jolly stroll, and I accidentally didn't walk far enough to the left. Frankly, Beam Raybot is one of the easiest stages in the game. The happy one of the group. Both me and the bosses have lower invulnerability frames, so they die pretty fast. By defeating him, I get the Side Crasher. Fire it is. I'll have to go through Laser Raybot stage again. Oh. Okay, I think I know what's happening. Because of the version of Flash I'm playing this on, the game is not responding the way it's supposed to. Alright, time to do some fixes. And I'm back. For those watching the Let's Play version of this game, here's what happened. Essentially, due to a different Flash Player version in Firefox that I was using to play this game earlier, it didn't save the fact that I defeated each of the Raybots. It saved one by one, but not all of them at once. So I decided to download the SWF and play it in my personal Flash Player. Philip asked me to go to Sword Raybot, so might as well. I have his weakness, so it should make it a bit easier. Mind you, this saving issue is not the game's fault, it's Flash's fault. This is the hardest RM stage in the game. Well, not RM, RB. And the reason is because of all these springs. That's why I wanted the shield weapon for the stage first. Number 2 is better, by the way. I also have Sword Raybot's weakness. By the way, I can't control my jump height with these springs. They're always the same. These swords are gonna pose a huge problem later. Frankly, I find it funny that we don't have downwards facing springs in Mega Man Maker yet. It's the other way around, Philip. Sword Bot is weak to the laser weapon. Shield Bot is weak to the sword weapon. Funny how the toughest stage is weak to the easiest stage. Here's where the pain begins. See these swords? I could run past them, but... And I can't destroy them either, that's the other problem. How did I dodge that? If only I can control my jump height with these springs. Not sure, Metal General, that's a glitch. I think that was fixed in the second game. And of course, it's like classic Mega Man, so enemies respawn once you fall down. Or exit re-enter the screen, I mean. See the problem here? The other issue, I think I need to hold down the jump button here. Other issue is the checkpoint is right before this section. I wish it was after this section. See, that's the way you're supposed to do it, but... Nah, I just watch most movies at home. We don't know who the main villain is here. Not yet, anyways. On today's episode of Who Thought This Was a Good Idea... Okay, you can jump higher. But you need to time it just right. See, if you hold down the jump button when you land on top of it, it doesn't work. You have to press the button just as you hit it. Yeah, basically Mario Springs. The S-Crasher works better against waves of weak foes. Oh boy. This is the part of the stage which I'm really worried about. It's because of these. Who thought it was a good idea to put moving springs over bottomless pits as their first introduction? Out of all the stages in the game, this is the most poorly designed for that reason alone. Almost made it. Ran out of lives. That's why I want to go through Sword Raybot stage last. It's so much more difficult than the rest of the stages, by a massive amount. So let's go back to Fire Raybot and do it that way. The problem is it's inconsistently hard. There is one more stage that's more difficult than Sword Raybot's level, and that's the final stage, but that makes sense. So Fire Raybot stage has the oil fires. Knockback is stronger here. Also, tackle fires make their appearance. Way to cheese this enemy. Unlike Mega Man Maker though, the fire propagates gradually, not instantaneously. Yeah, we're essentially playing as a human character. So this is essentially a hothead. I think I have his weakness, but that's shared with the boss. That's why I don't want to use it yet. Okay, I'll just use it once. Yeah, basically Oil Man. But running in the oil doesn't decrease my movement and jump speed. Not to mention we have the fire beams from Fireman's stage. Also, this stage shares the same team as one of the other stages. So a Hot Boy, Hot Fly, Firefly, I'll call them giant fireflies. They're essentially larger versions of this enemy. Did you think the previous mini-boss was too easy? Take this on for size. Now you must destroy the tackle fires, otherwise you're dead. Or just use S-Crasher, which one-shots them. Still better than most other Flash games for that matter. Also, that line in the background is more of a function of the scaling being broken because I'm using a dev environment. That's not how it's supposed to look. and me being bad. Thankfully those tackle fires cannot reach me. Stage is over. If you want long and tedious, see Sword Raybot stage. Here comes Fire Raybot. He pretty much gets wrecked by his weakness if he stands in it. As it just ignores his invulnerability frames. And by defeating him I get the magma wave.